Do not attempt to adjust your speakers. The sounds that you're about to hear are various sounds that come from a human's mouth. So this is what we came with.
I have some great news.
Yes.
We have actual listeners.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure if you knew, but like I actually like have met some listeners in the wild.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So my son's one of his best friends.
Yeah.
One of his best friends. First of all, I won't say who the listener is, but it was just very funny. He is like out of a movie.
Yeah.
The way he talks is so funny. Like he talks like a classic Canadian, like so. My son's nickname is Marsh or Marshy.
Yeah.
So he comes in and like Marsh, how you been? Like he sounds like he's on one of the out for a rip, are you? But like that, like he's 12 years old, and that's how he talks. Letterkenny, Shoresy kind of stuff. So he goes. So he comes upstairs. Like always goes. So my mom listens to your podcast. Hey. Thinks you're pretty funny. Guys are kind of funny. Like, it's just like, oh, that's good. Yeah. I haven't seen much of it myself, but I'll take her word for it.
He's 12 years old.
Oh, he's so funny. It's crazy.
So cool.
You know, like we're talking, Xavier's getting to the age where he like talking about maybe like wants to get a job. Like he's pretty young still, but he's talking about making money. And he goes, "Hey Marsh, if you want to come over, like in the summer, I always help my grandpa out, and like we do pretty good work. Like we could." And I'm like, "Hey Marsh, oh yeah, oh totally, it's pretty cool, you know."
It's the hockey kid at the very core of
the kid doesn't play hockey. That's just like comes straight out his vocal cords.
Does he have a middle part?
I don't know. I pay attention to the middle. I don't notice that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's so funny. So, anyways, that just want to let you know we're pretty funny. We make
if you're listening to the podcast, to let us know in the comments that you're listening. Would love to know that you're listening because it just feels like sometimes we're just talking out in the world. So tell us that you're listening. We'd be happy, and that makes us fun.
Make fun of our outfits and stuff like that. We'll get to your outfit in a second. But.
With that being said, welcome to episode 30 of For the Record Podcast. Once again, my name is Rhoni Raj, and this is Mr. Joseph.
Mr. Joseph Sims. Joseph, his full name.
Joseph is his full name.
Is Rhoni your full name?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Can I just mention a stereotype? Typically.
Certificate and all.
Typically. We'll introduce Carter in a second here. Whoever the heck this guy is. It might be, maybe this is a lot of new to Canada immigrants. They shorten their name to something that would be more similar to a Canadian name oftentimes. So Rhoni, I just presume, would be a shortened version of something else.
Rhoni Sundar Mahanraj.
The way it is.
Well, Sundar's
That's my middle name.
Yep.
Okay, well, sure, but like, but like I know, or like people will come from different companies and like replace their name with a Canadian name.
Nothing. So my dad had a pretty early inkling that he was going to be out of India for sure. And this is like when I was fucking year or 2 years old. So like he knew everything, like he was gonna be out. So at that point, he's like, you can't have a very Indian sounding name.
When you were 1 or 2?
What?
When you were 1 or 2?
Yeah.
So you didn't have a name before that, or you changed?
Sundar was my name, first name, and then they officially changed it on the certificate and everything to Rhoni.
Like we'll just wait.
We'll
wait until we figure one out.
The thing is, he didn't have an idea of what, because there's no internet. How do you research or what kind of name to have? So that man had to go to libraries to look at books and everything else to figure out what name to have.
Well,
so that's how that worked. But that being said, we have a third special guest here today. Producer Carter, the producer for the podcast.
Yes, there he is.
Producer Carter.
He's got a voice.
It's the first time he's got a title too. Mm-hmm. Producer Carter's here. He was
as Jared calls him Young
Carter.
Young Carter.
Young King, Young Carter.
King. I don't think Young King is. You're just giving me yourself that.
I could see myself doing that. I think it was Jared.
I think you're just giving yourself Young King at this point. But yes, Carter's on the episode because we're going to talk about
Big stage production.
Big stage production. And
Why in the world would we talk about big stage production? What in the world could we possibly make note of that someone may or may not have been to in the past week or so? They couldn't have possibly gotten a bunch of overpriced merch and are making sure that they are letting everybody and their dog know that they went to the event. That couldn't be possible.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's possible.
Was it Exalt?
No.
Is that what we're talking about here?
We're talking about Exalt.
Yeah.
Exalt his name.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yes, that was me. I did spend overpriced money on overpriced merch, but it was worth it. Yes, for those of you who don't know, I was at Coachella weekend 2, April.
Let me also mention, a lot of people didn't know.
Well, a lot of people didn't know because I didn't even. Here's the thing. Every time I have to go away, I am stressed out of my mind because I'm like, what if I'm gone and something's going wrong? So I'm like actively trying to figure everything out before I leave. So in that stress, I never told anybody. That was pretty much what it was. And but then I'm gone. It was Friday we left for weekend 2. It was a group of 7 of us, and it was primarily because it's one of those biggest festivals in the world that you had to see. And I just well, it was like, the acts were pretty good, and there were several
Were you
acts.
the first person who suggested it to the group, or who?
It came from Salome, actually. Salome said, I have to go visit my family in LA. She's got a bunch of family in LA. And we realized there's a direct flight out of Winnipeg to LA. And we look up the pricing. For 2 people, it's $412 all in to go in and return. I was like, this is great. Let's do it. And then we look it up. And the weekend, because it's a long weekend and the Easter weekend, we're like, okay, let's go. And that's when she saw, wait, it's Coachella weekend. I was like, oh, okay, now the plans are different. We can't see family anymore if we're going there. It's like, no, we can make it happen. So we booked a flight Friday morning out of here to LA, direct flight, 3.5 hours. Because there's a tailwind, it gets there faster. The more you know. And then we got there. We split up. Me and her split up to go see her cousin that she hasn't met in 20 years, but she grew up close to and whatnot. And then we saw him, and he took us to a taco place. Phenomenal. If you want the best tacos,
California
one of the
tacos.
best tacos, California. Jesus Christ, their tacos are phenomenal.
Getting religious over here with these tacos. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
right.
Hallelujah.
And then, so Ty, Shona, Cash, Vrajna, and Nasir, they left in a different car on the way out. And so usually it takes an hour and a half. It took us 3 hours to get there. Traffic, because everybody's leaving. And traffic's not traffic. It's not like jam-packed. It was just moving very slowly. And we got there, found an Airbnb, and from there it's another 40-minute shuttle ride. You get there. The amount of what primarily I want to talk about is how curated the place is, in a sense of they've thought about everything possible, from guest experience to flow of guests and how they get out and how they get in, and where the stages have to be and why, and what kind of people go on those stages, and your wristband experience to entry experience, the security that's there to every staff member that's there. They are there to make sure you have the best time possible. And in a festival that goes through 200,000 people in 6 days, and to find staff that just do that, and the amount of level of detail they have, mind-blowing. You wouldn't see that anywhere. Like, I've been to festivals, and it's not that. The security who's there, in the best part, 200,000 people, you barely saw 20 security there. But there are security there. You barely saw 20. And the experience is basically you get a bracelet in the mail a couple of weeks before or a month before your festival. So you wear the bracelet to the event. There's no ticketing you nothing. You wear the bracelet. There's RFID in the bracelet. You tap it. It turns green. You walk in. That's it. Nothing else. And if you want drinks at the bar, they'll give you an ID check. And then once the ID check is done, you got a bracelet and you're in. What was best about it? I'll go through the good, bad, and the ugly. Okay, there is ugly, but the good part. Actually, there's no bad part. There's just no ugly part, and then the good part, and then whatever.
Okay, we're waiting. We're on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So stages. There's over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stages, and all of these stages are spread across 333 acres of land, or 1,000 acres of land, or whatever amount.
That sounds right. 33. Yeah.
333 acres of land. It is wild. One stage to another stage, which is the closest stage, is 2 football fields away. Okay? The sound system in the main stage is massive. And massive doesn't even cut it. The line arrays, so for the actual nerds, who, again, this is where people click off.
Yeah, just keep going.
The people click off right here. L Acoustics is the line array that was available for the most part. Indoors, there was Meyer Sound, and outdoors, it was mostly L Acoustics. They are the top of the line array constant stuff. So, and the amount of moving heads, Carter, in the main stage alone, I lost count while going through it, just over 300 moving heads.
On one stage.
That's one set of lights. And there's others, there's washes. There's another 150 of them. And then there's strobe but a couple panels of it. There's another 100 of them. And then there's tube lights. My count was about 220 of them. LED wall, the size of, goddamn. The main Coachella stage LED wall is a curved, it's almost it's a curved in, and then it goes in again. It's almost like a U. It's a U that sort of curves in around. Wild stuff. Yeah. So this is just, the one stage, if I just count for dollar value style, okay? If I do dollar value just on Coachella stage, this is just sound, lighting, and visual.
On one stage.
One stage, where the main stage would come out to 35, 36 million of the stuff that's there, of what it costs. And that does not involve the 15 RE cameras that were running around doing the live stream. If you saw it on YouTube, they're all filmed on a $40,000 camera body that does not include the lenses. And then RE did everything from their movement gimbals to the whole, like the lenses to everything. RE did most of it. That's for the main outdoor stages. Crazy. The crowd would move. So there are AI. So I did some digging because Ty told me about this. There are AI cameras that are around the place that will basically sense heat and figure out patterns of where people are moving and how people are moving. And everything, again, it's also a very much a event general rule, is everything is going towards left. Everything gets you to go to the left because they've laid it out that way, always. And you can go other way too, but it's just the natural way we always tend to lean is to the left. So most of the stuff to you, if you walk in, is on your left. From the merch to the water station to food to activations to everything on your left. And if you turn around, it's still on your left. So there's nothing in the middle. It's just open. So this is where your Ferris wheel is. This is where that popular, colorful Tower of Spire is. This is where other little design stuff structures they have and everything else in there. So this is one stage, Coachella stage. Outdoor stage, 2 football fields away. And the amount of loudness that comes in is very directed. You walk past about a half football field, the sound dampens considerably because it's very much directed. Again, you can control the sounds and where it goes through those line arrays very well.
Crazy.
Then the other stage, the outdoor stage, that's another $20 million worth of stuff in there. No problem. And then you come into the sort of tented stages. These are your Gobi stage and the Mojave stage and Sahara stage. Sahara stage, you can see it on Google Maps. It's a giant dome. And that's apparently the rumor is that's where the first set of line arrays were ever sort of tested for an outdoor setting. And that used to be the main stage for a long time. And then they moved and created a whole stage, which is the Coachella stage. So inside that, you saw all the indoor acts. Like, it was not indoor necessarily, but there's a hill just at the end of it where the VIP is, so you get a better view. But the amount of people, Jesus Christ, there was so many people. Again,
Shape, sizes, ages. You said there's some oldies but goodies there.
babies that are
Really?
6, 7 months old to 85-year-old grandpa and grandmas.
Wow.
Wild. Everything in between. Everything in between. Every class in between. Every age group in between. Every race in between. Everybody's there. It is crazy.
So
And the last part with the acts itself. So it was just like Lady Gaga, Benson Boone, things that we saw. Benson Boone, Mustard.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Oh, yeah?
Ed Sheeran was a last minute ad because FKA Twigs wasn't able to make a visa work. So Ed Sheeran pulled in and they put him in the same stage that FKA Twig was going to be. And Ed Sheeran's pool is Ed Sheeran's pool. I'll send you a video. There were people overflowing outside the tent that people were like, why is he here?
Yeah,
Why
you
is he
can't
not
put
on the
Ed
main
Sheeran
stage?
Oh,
on
because he
that.
should have been on the
We were
big
on the main,
stage.
well,
right?
no, he should have been. He was never part of the set.
Yeah.
It was just changed a week prior. So Weezer showed up the day week 1, and Ed Sheeran showed up week 2. So it was massive. And then Ed Sheeran showed up again, standing next to Humankind when we were there. Humankind, he's outside watching him play Big Dogs. And then we went to Post Malone on the last day. Guess who comes out to play Sunflower with Post Malone? Ed Sheeran. Crazy. And the amount of acts they bought in. Again, Charlie XCX bought out Addison Rae, Billie Eilish, and Lorde out of nowhere. Like, just craziness. So it's that part was the good. The bad part, I think, was just the walking. The amount of walking you have to do. I was clearing 25,000 steps every day. It was just inside the ground. And that tires you a lot. And if you're going for the act, for people, if we were planning for Coachella, you have to decide. You're not going to get to every act possible.
You gotta get fit
there
for
are
it.
overlaps across the board.
If you're going again, Rhoni, I'll have to train you. Make sure you're ready to go.
Dude,
Getting
below
Coachella
my
fit.
knees was numb. I couldn't move it. Like, there's overlaps all the way. You can look at the list. It'll look so cool. And like, oh, this artist, this artist, this artist.
You gotta
But
pick.
the reality is they're all almost the same times or similar times or close times that are performing in different stages.
And it takes
So
you 30 minutes to walk to one.
From the main stage to the Mojave stage takes about 15 minutes to walk.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And all of them start in, okay, the good part. Every single show starts on time. If it's said
It's got to.
10:05, Post Malone's coming out.
It's got to.
10:04,
With that big of a show.
55, the lights turn off. 10:05, the man's on the stage.
Yeah.
It is so. It was just such refreshing to watch how on time everything ran.
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion first week ran over 2 minutes. They cut her mic off.
No way.
Not even kidding. They're like, we don't care. You're Megan Thee Stallion. You have a time slot. Leave. Like,
Fair
while she was
enough.
talking, cut her mic off. She was like so pissed about it, threw the mic away, walked away.
Who?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay, yeah.
It
That's
was, they
crazy.
start on time, they end on time, and the production crew. And my assumption, I asked ChatGPT because there's not public knowledge. My assumption is there's over 400 crew members working across all stages.
Oh, totally.
It is crazy. So that was a good part. The bad part is the walking, the amount of walk you got to do. And the bad part was just the lines you have to stand in for things to get into, whatever. Like Mark's lines were like, if you go
kinda know
anytime,
that though.
I guess.
There's 200,000 people there at some points, right?
It is. The lines are long, but what the lines weren't long. Entrance. I was worried the entrance line was going to be long. Nah, 6 lanes open, all RFID. You get in so fast. Security. All they look for is you don't have knife or guns. That's it. Like they look in, cool, nothing in here, out, gone, and it's all random too. Like you check in randomly in and then out. So, from an alcohol perspective, weed perspective. From the hard drug perspective, you can take in anything you want, put it in your purse and take it. They don't care. They do randomly tell you to throw the water away, this and that. But honestly, like you can take in anything you want. That's not gun or knife. You're fine. Not a single incident, which was great about it. So now the ugly part, the cost.
Oh boy.
Food.
If I want a grilled cheese sandwich, how much?
$20 USD.
Jeez.
How good's the cheese?
Ty
though?
bought it. Ty got it.
How good's the cheese though?
I think it's mediocre. It's not okay. The food is
Like
good.
Canned cheese.
That's the part. The food is good. It's not great and mind blowing. It is not bad. It's good. But $20 is a lot of money for a grilled cheese.
Barely, and probably not that. It's not like a huge grilled cheese or anything.
No, it's just a regular sized grilled cheese. So the cost of it, drinks, wild prices. Like a shot, like a Red Bull and a vodka was like $16 USD.
16 or
16, 16.
Okay, phew.
And then no shots, so they won't give you shots. A beer, a Red Bull was like $7 USD. So again, now from a Canadian perspective, right now that shit is super expensive. So we barely got any food the first 2 days. We barely ate the first 2 days.
Yeah,
it was just we walked in. Come in.
Who's here? Oh, hey.
We walked in. We got food. We walked in. Basically, water is free. Water refilling stations everywhere. We just took bottles of water with us, drank. So the ugly part was definitely the cost. And then the other part is, people think it's expensive. It is expensive. But if you look at it, the amount of artists you're gonna see, if you go for a Lady Gaga concert, and if you're on the floor at a Lady Gaga concert, it's $250 at least. Now you get more concert within the same day, and then you get 3 headliners. So consider $250 per day, right? $250 per day, only for a headliner. You're still spending more. The ticket was Canadian wise $900 for the show.
$900 for the weekend.
For the weekend.
Yeah.
Now, for the amount of artists you see, for the amount of experience you get to have,
Worth it.
$900 is a good price. Anything over, I would sort of gawk at it, but $900 was a great price. Now, flights, as I said, like it was $400 return for 2 people. So collectively, for $1,300, you got to go and come back. Now, other bigger costs, because all of California knows it's Coachella weekend, any hotel you go to is expensive.
Yeah.
And
But
is
the
it like
way-
a camp? Like
There is camping spots, but those are all still expensive. The first weekend, the security was a different company this year. Apparently, people had to stay in the cars for 12 hours to camp on Thursday to Friday morning. It was terrible nightmare. The second weekend, 20 minutes. Everybody was in their campsite.
Nice.
So the flow was so well managed. And also, if you're going, always weekend 2. Weekend 1 is for the influencers. So there will be more influencers than you can imagine. There will be annoying as hell. There'll be way too many people. Weekend 2, always. So it's a lot. It's again, there's still a lot of people, but they're all people. Like they're not influencers.
you come here. No, you got it. I got a motor, but there's so much more to uncover here, and you were there. We got a live in house.
Like, no, it's audience. You got to come in.
Come on, Vrajna, you get over here. You actually have some stuff to say. It doesn't
No.
matter. What do you think? I'm wearing a hoodie. Just come sit and say something. Come here. I got a motor, but there's so much more to uncover. I know Carter wants to ask some serious questions about things.
I do have questions.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah.
I got a motor,
So-
but there's a lot here. Come on, Vrajna. Just get it all tucked in here.
We'll
I'll give you a
close it out
premature.
right
I'll give you a
for Joey.
premature Coachella. No,
Premature ketchup.
you might have to say coffee, something funny, but I just want to get that out of my system. You have good things to say.
But Joey's got to go. So yes,
Love you,
we have
Joey.
another guest today, ladies and gentlemen. Vrajna Patel in the building. She was with us at Coachella. So what did you think about it?
I thought it was really good. I got to see like front row each day. So
Oh yeah.
But on what expense? You got to tell them that. So it's not like it's easy. It's not
No,
like
it's
you
not
get
easy. You gotta like push through the crowd.
Yeah, you got to
So you
push
gotta
through the
be
crowd.
there right when that the one before the act before it ends, and then like was stampede in.
So I had a question about how close being to the stage, how much that affects it.
Yeah.
Because you had some where you were pretty far behind on those videos you
Yeah.
sent me. How much does the vibe change when you're up front jumping? mosh pit?
Honestly, it's the same across the board.
Okay.
there
'cause
are
a lot of
people-
concerts I've been to, like the vibe
is
drops.
massively different.
Yeah.
Because it's all the same level on Coachella. Every stage, there's no levels to this, right? There's
Right.
no
Yeah.
seating. Everybody's on the same level. It is the same vibe. There are
Nice.
people, for Charlie XCX especially, there were people in the back having the same amount of vibes.
Nice.
Yeah.
There were people in the front.
They do the songs, everything.
That's
Everything.
Along.
It's the same vibe. And because it is that way, it feels different. It feels like everybody's on this floor level.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like, some people are on the higher level and then, you don't see the connection.
Yeah.
It's everybody's the same level. What marveled me on top of that was sound. Regardless of where you walked in that vicinity, it was the same level of loudness and quality of sound than anything else.
Man, that's awesome.
So it was pretty good that way. What did you think about prices of everything?
I thought it was actually okay. Like, aside from the ticket costing, like in Canadian dollars, it seems like a lot. Like 900 seems like a lot. But I thought the food was actually okay. Like, they did give you a good amount of food for the price.
Yeah. The amount, again, as I said, the amount of food was good, but it just how much was the cost compared to, because, okay, you go to Woke Box, right? You get a ginger beef or whatever. That same box of spiced orange chicken with rice cost $20, $21.
Yeah, like
actually.
I would think the same. Like, if you were to go to a sit-down restaurant in the States, you're going to have to tip like 20%.
Yeah, but there was no tip required. Like, everything was just
this is
on
kind
the
of
cost.
just like takeaway, so
Yeah.
you're going to have to end up paying that much anyway.
Anyway, so I think
So it was okay.
it was expensive from when you're converting to Canadian.
Yeah.
It was definitely.
Yeah.
But most people
What was
say
the bubble tea?
but that bubble tea was like $11 USD, and it was not even the greatest bubble tea.
That's
it was
pretty
bad.
pricey.
$18 Canadian.
And so the other part is too is, most people they did say that the cost was much better than other festivals that happen in America, which blew my mind. So you're telling me there are some places that are overly priced than this, right?
Yeah.
So it tells you, like, again, I looked at the numbers on what Coachella makes, $200 million in revenue over 2 weekends.
Ooh.
And it's a lot.
I can
but
see that.
But they do pay the artist, the top level artist, they pay a little bit. Sometimes, again, I remember Cardi B was saying she got paid, I think, what was it, like $70,000 or $170,000 or whatever, and she had to put another $300,000 into the stage prep of her own, because every artist there try to make it like it's their concert. Right? So they try to bring in elements that will make it their own.
Yeah.
So that is all out of their own pocket. Coachella is not providing you that. They are providing you to be there, and that's it. They're providing you that, okay, we'll have sound and lighting and whatever.
Yeah.
But anything else, backup dancers and everything else, you got to provide. You got to pay for them. You got to do everything. So Charlie XX didn't have any backup dancers, but Lady Gaga bought like 50 people. So it was crazy. But yeah, that's the thing is, if you're going to go see a specific artist and you want to see them up close, you have to camp out right by the barricades. You got to camp out two artists prior.
It's not too bad, to be honest. It's really not too bad.
It's the only thing is it's 2 hours.
You just
right?
have a lot of waiting.
Yeah,
Two artists prior, you're saying? You got to be
there. So it's, the thing is, it's all 1 hour shows. Everything is 1 hour show. Yeah. Right? You start at a certain time, you end at a certain time.
Except for the last act.
Yes, except for the last act is 2 hours. So Lady Gaga was 2 hours.
Or the headliners, because Green Day was also 2 hours.
2 hours.
Oh,
Post
Green Day,
Malone
nice.
was an hour and a half.
Yeah, because he was on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But Lady Gaga was 2 hours.
Yes. And so you get a 2 hour show, but you got to camp out earlier. So if we hadn't left Benson Boone, we could have stayed there for, I think, who was it after Benson Boone?
Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott, and then we have to stay there after Missy Elliott to get to see Gaga.
Right.
Because there's a 25 to 30 minute changeover too in between. So all that takes time. So in reality, if you have to be there 3 hours prior, camp, because people do move out because they want to go to the bathroom, get food, whatever, they move out. But you got to be ready to not leave and then push in to get there. So it's that. But again, I think you're not going there for the artist primarily. You're going there for the artist, but everybody's on the same level. Like, what are you going to, like, you still, it's, yes, you're going to see them like a tiny ant from back there, but if you don't
see them,
you still see them.
It's still a really good fun time.
Yeah. And I know for a fact you see them much better than you would be on level 400 at a arena, because you'll see them much better.
With that
the
screen.
screens too, the screens. Oh, okay. The great part about this whole thing is how coordinated, how much effort goes into the screens and the visuals that are on there. Every artist came up with their own individual styling and that fit the theme and everything. And whoever was the technical directing it. So I'm just thinking technical directing wise, cutting between the cameras and everything. Every stage had one. Every stage had a technical director. And every one of them had overlays and different style. Every song had a different visual to it.
Yep.
So the detail is like you're going to a concert of 20 people at a price of one. which is what which is what I think is the best part about it is you don't just get a half-ass act coming out, doing something, and then just leaving. It is very, very, very much a personalized experience for everybody across the board. And it feels like you went to their concert. It doesn't feel like they were part of a concert. It feels like you were at their concert to be there for. So the visuals were crazy. The live stream alone is a whole nother process. Like the more layers you add, the more people you need. And the more people you need, the more cost it is. But they're like, listen, yes, it is costly, but sponsorships, they make, the activations, the amount of cards. There was Aperol Spritz, there was Amex, there was White Claw, there was Coke, there was sunscreen, Neutrogena had an activation, Pinterest was there. Like it was activations galore, and they all set up a whole ass
nice
house in there. Like they build stuff there for their 2 weeks to be there. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Lighting wise, what I think was the most common was, I forgot the name. It's rectangular. There's a strobe in the middle, and there's pixels on the top and the bottom.
Are sweet.
So and then they are movable. They are motorized. I forgot the name for them, but those everywhere. Yeah, those were everywhere because they do purpose of a wash and strobe,
right,
and movement with it. So it was everywhere. Yeah. So
we should get some of those. Those are cool.
Yeah, those are so cool. Yeah. But then just lift it up.
Yeah, you're good.
So
gotta pull it a little higher sometimes.
Leave it higher. There.
Nice.
So questions.
Yeah. So this just kind of makes me think about Summer of Sound, Rockin' the Fields. The stomach rumbling.
Oh my God, what is happening?
You can just talk upwards.
Okay. Turn the mic. Push it down towards you. Pull it.
You might just have to hold it.
Pull down. Put it down. There. A little more.
You might just have to hold it up to your face.
Yeah, like
Can that work? No.
Yeah.
Get it closer. Yeah, there. Nope. Just hold it. Hold it.
While she's figuring that out.
Yeah.
It made me think of Summer of Sound, Rockin' the Fields, Country Fest, Salamander Fest, all of these little festivals that we have, Winnipeg, Brandon, Dauphin. Does it make you want to be a part of any of them now? Where even whatever, Brandon having Salamander Fest is a cool thing where it's 100 people went last year or something, but it's a cool thing that they want to do. Does it make you want to sponsor or go and join?
What it makes me want to do is elevate the whole experience.
Yeah.
It's not just about throwing something on anymore.
Right.
It's about from the first contact of how the people experience the ticket that they buy that shows up to their house, to how they show up and how their experience is there, and what kind of services and amenities are you offering there versus just, hey, here's a ticket, you show up to look at it. No. It is a entirely unique experience of how that is done. And that's what I want to do, is just people to have a better experience with how it is.
Yeah.
The shows are the shows, right? The shows are the shows. The Country Fest is similar, 3 days, different artists. They all show up and have a great time. But what do you do to make the experience different and better is what makes that much more enticing for people to come back again. Mm-hmm. It's not, trust me, people don't just come for the artist anymore. There were people I know for a fact, not a single one cared about who was there.
Right.
They were there for the vibes. They were there for the photos. They were there for other things. And the festival knew that. They're not just there to show the artist. They're there to know that people come here to show people that they were here. And they're taking in it as an experience rather than they're here for the artist. So what can you do outside of the artist also matters. You can't just put all your money into the artist and then hope for the best. You gotta curate every single part of it outside of it too. So how do you do that? It's not, you don't think about making money from the tickets alone. You think about everything else, sponsorships. You think about activations. You think about adding more experience stuff that will bring you revenue rather than just here's the artist, here's the ticket price, hopefully you come. Yeah. And that's a bad model to work with, right? Yeah. So I think there's a lot more to tap into of what people should be doing when you're organizing a concert, rather than just, again, hoping and praying for the best.
Yeah.
So that's what I would suggest is, if you're going to throw in a concert, think about every single piece of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the size of Coachella. Don't be a Coachella. Like, be Salamander, for example. But what can you make from the start of the entry point to the end of when they're walking out? What can you do to make that better, right? Some things are going to cost money. Yes. You're going to have to figure out how to make that money, or how to pay for that somehow.
Yeah.
And not just increase ticket price. That's not how that is. They have the ticket price at $900 for a reason, or for USD it's $599, $600 for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to think about where you're going to get the money from outside of those. There's a reason why foods cost that much. There's a way alcohol costs that much, right? Because at the end of the day, the experience justifies it. So.
Well, and I was thinking about that last time with our the event that I run, Exalt. With my friends there, was kind of like taking stuff off of our own backs so we can focus on music aspect and lights aspect, and we can all kind of pour into whatever our specific talents are in that, and getting more people, like we got someone this past year to do the foyer, and we got my girlfriend to do the greeting team, and like giving different people different jobs, and we probably had close to 20-25 volunteers this time, instead of that's including the music team, instead of 15 or 10. And if you add those 10 people, then there's ping pong tables downstairs because someone brought them, and there's then the lights are infinitely
100%.
Better than if I was doing all that stuff, because
100%.
I can't do it all. But if you have people worried about, are people getting water, are there washrooms available, like what are we all doing to make sure everyone's okay?
And those are the things, right? So as simple as how the security acted when you guys walked in and walked out, and how those made a difference, right? So these guys were leaving the shuttle pass story. Tell them the shuttle pass story.
The shuttle pass.
Where the guy went, where the girl when you show the shuttle pass on the way out.
Oh, like where they made you see the back of it?
Yeah, and then or at the end of the night when you guys were going. Yeah.
So
Just about talking about how nice the people are. So her and Salome are walking out, I think, and on the way out, it's a herd. It's a herd of just people, hundreds of thousands of people walking towards a shuttle. Yeah. And the shuttles are organized by tent, and the tents have a name of where the shuttle is going, and then whatever. And they expect you to show the shuttle pass. The shuttle pass is what gets you into the shuttle. Yeah. So the shuttle pass, it doesn't have anything on there, right? But again, this is 1 a.m. Everybody's tired going home. But the securities are there because they want to be there. Yeah. And they're like, actually, when they're walking by, there's nothing to scan. But then, please show your shuttle passes, whatever. And then they show the shuttle pass, and then the lady goes, beep. Like, she just made a comment that she was scanning it, but there was nothing to scan. So she just said, beep, okay, you're good. And then they were like both laughing. That was cute. That was so cool. At 1 a.m. when you're working as security. Now, it didn't mean anything to anybody. She forgot. The lady who did that might have forgotten it. Yeah. Right? But it stuck with you because that was just cool. Yeah. And they actually cared about it. That is where it's the little things that people care about. Yeah. More than the big things. It's the little things that stick with people after. Then you're like, that was cool, and this was cool, and that was cool. So having a greeter there just to comment on somebody's outfit that they wore to the place, right? Yeah. That comment on somebody's hair, and then maybe you saw them earlier and their hair is different. It's like, oh, you did something to your hair. Like, things like that sticks out massively because the people make that happen, and when the people there want to be there and help make that happen, it's a different experience, right? But again, also something to think about too. What's a good staple for people to come back and take a photo with, right? The Ferris wheel and the Spire are like the staple of Coachella. Everybody goes to Coachella. That's the photo you want. Yeah. What are those things could your event give, right? What is that thing that tells people without neither the Ferris wheel or the Spire has the word Coachella on it, but it is what it is. Coachella. So what is that thing is a sort of an anchor that'll keep people coming to do that, right? So those are things that I think when we're throwing events, we got to think about is we got to think about you need that anchor to identify yourself as individually. Even if I never posted anything about Coachella, but I just posted that Ferris wheel and that little building in the colorful building in the back, you know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
So every event has to figure that out. It's as simple as when McDonald's go ba-da-ba-ba-ba, you know McDonald's, and then you know what that sound is. So it's somehow wired in your brain. That's what it is. But how do you do that to make them remember, right?
It's like the summer fair. You know it's going to be the Keystone.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you see the Ferris wheel drive by 18th wheel. You know what's happening, right? So.
Well, and you bring up McDonald's there, where it's like anywhere you go, they are trying to optimize your experience. I'm only 18. I've only had so many experiences, but whatever. I worked at Brown's Social House for 2 years, and like first thing I learned was you need to talk to these people like you genuinely care about them, and don't even act like you do. Genuinely care about these people, and don't say the same thing to this person that you say to the next person as that person that you greeted walks past you, where it's like, oh, hey, how's your day going? Like, you're not copy pasting your intro. It's like, hey, I love your shirt. Come in. Like, let's talk. What's your name? What are you here for? Right. And they're trying to have you really care about that restaurant. And then your server comes, they really care about you. And weddings, like they care about your experience. The amount of effort that goes into planning everything
100%.
that you go through in a day is, like they want you to have a good time wherever you are.
In a sense, if you realize what is the cornerstone when it comes to hospitality, in any sort of hospitality industry, we're technically in a hospitality industry we're trying to create an event where people can have a great time. Yeah, hotels, we're trying to give people a place to stay where they enjoy the stay. It's all that. It's a service-based thing, and all that it comes down to is genuine care. Yeah, genuine care at the end of it, where you would like to remember that place in the most positive light because of the people that made you feel the way they made you feel, right? Yeah, and that's what it's about. And then the way the festivals have turned to care about it. Everybody also kind, like most people, like guests involved, including, forget the staff that was working, the people who showed up to Coachella. Nice. Kind, like nice people.
Yeah, and they're always complimenting each other.
100%. And everybody's there for an outfit. Everybody wants to get their outfit checked out, and everybody compliments each other's outfit. Yeah. And like the amount of people that look at you and go, "Dude, that's a cool outfit," and this and this and that. It's part of why it's such a community event. It feels like a community event because everybody there is genuinely nice.
Yeah, it's like your red boots.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. We'll have to get a picture of that.
Yeah, and again, I had to take it. I was like, "Where else am I gonna not wear it?" Right? So. Those are the things that again help make a festival that. But if I have to tell people again, I think everyone should experience Coachella. And yes, there are other festivals, but Coachella once in their life because you see things that you've never seen, and you experience things you've never experienced in a way that happens among hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah, that you feel like, okay, this is different. And there is a bit of a hangover that comes out of it. It's like, oh man, that was a cool experience. I would like to be back there. I'd love to be back there. So that's it's definitely an experience. Again, I know for a fact I've been talking about Coachella since like 2018. But then, it took us 7 years to get there, right? So it is a trek. It is a thing, and definitely go with a lot of people. It's a lot more fun when you go with a lot more people, people that you like to travel with. So that's another thing. Yeah, because it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. If you're worried about the heat, if you're worried about dust, if you're worried about walking, it's not for the faint of heart, because the desert heat hits you, the dust storms hit you, the sun burns hit you. And the amount of walking you have to do to hit you, but it's not for the faint of heart. But you got to go with people who would be like, dude, get your shit together, let's go. Right?
Yeah, and it's like you don't have to be afraid to do your own thing either.
100%. And it's not like you have to do this in a group at all. Because we have different tastes in music, we could all go do different things, right? So we were all able to do it regardless. So there's no battery on that thing. But yeah, that's definitely what I would suggest people have to try out at least once. So
that's Coachella.
You're good.
Who wants to say Joey's Oh, I think he gave me the coffee.
Did his ka-chow. He did his ka-chow earlier.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but
Do we each, any of us, have a unique way of saying coffee?
No. Coffee. How does he say it?
No, he's got
different.
a lot of ways
He's got a lot of ways to say it. He called it once hot brown.
What about Coachella?
Oh my god! You know what? A lot of people, because you bought Coachella, which was a lot of people put their name and Chella at the end of it. So Megan Thee Stallion went on and she called it Megan Chella, right?
Megan the Chella.
No, Megan Chella.
Megan Chella.
Megan Chella, right? And then Post Malone was Post Chella, right? And then, but it was also cool because he could post Coachella means after Coachella too, so it was one thing that would work out.
Yeah,
it was a lot of people played really well. I think Indo Warehouse was a DJ group that we saw, and they called it Indochella. So it was like everybody came up with that. So we'll have to maybe come up with a way of saying Coffeechella.
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 And then Ka-chow and Coachella's got to work.
Coachella. Coachella.
Coachella.
Coachella. That's it. That's how we end it.
Sweet.
Coachella. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 30, Coachella 2025 recap. 2 special guests here today. Carter Dupuis, our podcast producer, and fellow Coachella traveler, Vrajna Patel is here. So there you go. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow, all the good stuff. We'll catch you on episode 31. Coachella.